Hey everybody! Ow!
Did you just hurt yourself?
Yes, I did. I'm not as padded there as you think. Welcome to the movie review time, where basically we geek out about a movie we just saw, and we just saw Transformers: The Last Night. Okay, so we saw it, and I just want to give everybody a warning. This is going to be our all the spoilers discussion. We're free to talk any spoilers we want. We're going to talk about the ending, the middle, all that kind of stuff. There's not really a lot of spoilers to discuss. It's been spoiled in the trailers, but
there's a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, there's a few things, and this may not be as long as normal because there's not a lot of plot. But anyways, if you don't want spoilers, we do have a no spoiler review. You can see the link in the description below, or something's popping up somewhere right about now. You can click on that, check that out instead. Come on back for the spoilers when you're ready. And we are literally just out the theater, our fabulous Regal. And yeah, I mean, look, and we need to do this in case you haven't seen the no spoilers. Let's preference everything, put you some context. Loved the cartoon as a kid. I have not followed the canon since. I love Jerry Bruckheimer. I do love Jerry Bruckheimer, but I also love Michael Bay movies because they are big, dumb, summer fun that look beautiful, and that's all I was looking for out of this. I got that. So, you know, that's where I'm coming from. She hasn't even seen the last two movies.
No.
And, but, you know, didn't really make a difference. But anyways, here's your big old one-time spoiler warning. Spoilers! Okay, you guys are gone. So, take it away, Mary, my dear.
Oh, God. I want to start with the biggest one.
Do it.
So, a lot of people were saying that Unicron was going to be in this movie. A lot of people assumed that Unicron was going to be the big broken up planet thing.
That's one of those.
I honestly can go like, no, that's not Unicron.
Well, with the way Bay redesigns, I was thinking maybe.
But yes, Unicron is in this movie. It happens to be planet Earth.
Yeah.
And as the Cybertron draws closer, these horn type things, which, you know, Unicron did have in the cartoon, he had a lot of horns going on when he transformed.
Yeah, he was very horny.
You know, they start, you know, erupting out around the planet. That's pretty much all you see.
Yeah, like that's the thing that sucked for me. Like I got excited. I'm like, yes, Unicron. Like even the twist of it being Earth, I'm like, I'm good with that. Whatever, fine. We're getting Unicron. We didn't get Unicron. We got the mention of fucking Unicron, and then like a teaser set up for, oh, I guess he's gonna be the big bad in the next movie.
Well, here's where it's going to get really tricky because, okay, so the big plant thing that everybody saw in the previews and everything, that is Cybertron. It is really jacked up.
Yeah, and I still don't understand why they have a like patch of grassy land.
Yeah, I know that. Considering it's been drifting through space, this makes no sense.
Right, and even and on top of the fact that I mean, again, not knowing the stuff, I thought Cybertron was all tech, you know, but
yeah,
nitpick.
Space is dirty. A lot of dirt accumulates. I don't know.
Yeah.
That still doesn't explain the grass.
Hashtag because Transformers 5.
Right. But anyways, the maker, the Quintessa or whatever.
Yeah, we in names.
But she's going like, you know, when Optimus Prime somehow is. Why the hell is Optimus Prime floating randomly through space? Was that in the last movie?
Yeah, that's maybe one thing you did miss out on is, well, not that he's floating. I don't know why he was just floating and looked dead until he landed on Cybertron and was fine. But
well,
I was reminded.
Well,
I was reminded that was like from the end of the last movie when he's like, I'm gonna find our makers and I'm gonna make them pay or something. And I guess maybe he rocketed off into space. I don't remember if they showed it or not.
Okay, so
but that was a thing.
Yeah, Optimus Prime crash lands on Cybertron, finds the maker, and she basically bitch slaps him.
Yeah, she literally does.
Yeah,
literally does. Bitch slaps the evil into him.
Yeah.
And we get Nemesis Prime, which is another great reference that is pretty much about all they did with it, except what you saw in the trailers.
Nemesis Prime was a thing?
Yeah, after the movie in the cartoon, when the cartoon came back, Prime did come back as Nemesis Prime.
I don't remember that.
I vaguely have that right. I may have that slightly wrong. You guys can let me know. I'm sure you will.
It's been a very long time.
Yes.
So she's saying it's like, Unicron's our oldest enemy, and it's like, he's our planet? The fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but I mean, you know.
Which means, but at the, anyways, she gets beat, but not killed.
Yeah, at the end, that's interesting. That was again, that was one of the weird things. It was so anticlimactic. Because, you know, I mean, they built to an almost good climax, but then like kind of with one hit, she just vanishes kind of thing. It's like, oh, you're waiting for her to pop around.
Yeah, it almost feels like this is actually like meant to be a two-part movie.
It
In
really
which
does.
case, if they, and they probably will make 6.
Yeah, because literally it ends on like, hey, here's what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Like the post-credit
So,
scene
and-
is 2 credits into the credits. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't actually ever go to black before the credit scene.
Uh,
Which is really weird that people were getting up and walking out when the credit came on, but there was clearly still movie happening.
Yeah. but yeah, and I think I could be totally cool with it being considered like a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
In which case, that works.
And and in the marketing they are saying the beginning of the end kind of
Yeah.
thing, like a lot of things are right now.
But you have basically the Quintessa or whatever, and human guys showing up to one of these Unicron horns who are just being studied by scientists, and she's like, you shouldn't touch him. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, pudding.
But I can tell you how to kill him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the post-credit scene.
But so the thing is, I'm thinking humanity in general has a very vested interest in keeping Unicron from waking up.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking it's not going to be good to be on the planet when it decides to transform.
Yeah, no, and there were some cool elements. Actually, maybe that's why there was the grass and dirt on Cybertron, is because clearly that's built up around Unicron to form our Earth, maybe. So they were kind of subtly hinting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a theory, a film theory. Oh wait, that's not my channel.
The thing is like, oh god, like because the planet's like 4.5 billion years old. Is Unicron 4.5 billion years old?
He would have to be older than the planet. I mean, if he was already the Cybertron's enemy. So, I don't know. Hashtag because Transformers.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey crap.
Yes. Some other things that we definitely want to get into. Well, we're on Unicron though. I did like the idea that the horns were emerging out from under, and like they weren't in the pattern they should be in. But that was because if you build it back into Pangea, the Earth's crust had shifted him around.
Yeah.
And I like that Stonehenge was like the mouth, the energy mouth thing.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Cogsworth?
Yeah, let's go about Cogsworth. She's gonna go on. I'll give her the floor. I'll be back.
So you do see him a little bit. He's the 4-foot-tall transformer who doesn't really transform too much.
No, he has like little bits. Like I did like the old timey phone that came out of his chest.
Yeah,
as a communicator.
he's like sort of a Swiss Army butler.
I like that one of the bots called him like something about a 3PO knockoff or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
But he's sort of like a Swiss Army butler. He has various things that pop out as he needs them. And he's a bit of a sociopath. The thing is, I kind of love him to death. I was just like, I has him as my butler.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, no, you're really into him. Yeah, you guys would. That's terrifying. I do like that they kind of did the Witwickings, which was like Witwicky, Sam Witwicky. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, there's sort of a Shia LaBeouf. Oh.
Yeah.
They show his picture. They're doing like all the ancestors, and here's like this goofy shot that almost looks like one of his mug shots. So I think Bay might have been taking a little bit of a pot shot with that particular picture. And I think they're suggesting he's dead. Because now the lady is the last of the line.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was another line in there too that made me think.
Considering the massive amount of destruction that seems to go on a regular basis in this particular movie world,
yeah,
it's quite possible.
Very possible. Yeah.
It was like the original name was Wiccan because Merlin and sorcery and all that. Wiccan, yay.
By the way, for those of you that wonder why I'm always doing that. Sorry. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a nice touch.
I love the fact that in the flashback at the beginning with the big battle, he's off riding, he's going like, just an ep, glug, 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 glug.
Later he's talking to the Transformers like, look, it's all true. I'm a liar, I'm a thief, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this one time, if you help, we can do amazing things.
I'll stare off booze and money
and women. Booze and money. That was really, really good, yeah. So, I mean, there's some really fun moments in it.
Was that Stan?
No.
What was he in this
Actually,
movie?
He was in there? I don't remember him in there.
Yeah, he was in the credits.
You're right, I saw him in the credits, but...
Are you sure he wasn't Merlin?
Well, because he was an actual character in one of the other movies, I could have sworn. Anyways, John Turturro was back in it. He clearly took a day to shoot in front of a payphone around a corner, but it was good to see him back. So I like that character.
I like
a
that
lot.
he was in Cuba and he's got the one Autobot going like, "Come on, let's play."
Yeah, because like Cuba's like the sanctuary city or the country or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually. Oh my god! And when
the Dino
well, we'll get
babies.
into it. Yeah, the Dino baby.
Dino babies were so
Dino
cute.
babies. And I knew it too. Right before you awed, I'm like, she's gonna awe. She's gonna up. There it is. I just saw it coming.
So they had the full-size version, or at least a full-size Grimlock.
Yeah, and they had a full size the Triceratops, whose
Gotcha.
name I can't recall.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, well, it's all right. We don't need to. They'll tell us.
But how did they get Dino babies? Was that in the last movie?
No, those were not. So I don't fully understand how Transformers are born. I'm guessing it's something about the nuts and the wrenches, or, instead of birds and bees. I don't know. It's still a little vague to me, so I don't know. But I guess real quick, let's just take a little break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
We're back. Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins basically throughout this entire movie went, oh look, there's scenery, let me chew it.
Yeah, he
And
really
chewed it, he did.
Yeah.
It was actually quite fabulous.
Yeah, he was a kind of fun thing to it. He's dead though, so
Yeah.
oh well. But I do like
Poor
that
Cogsworth.
Cogsworth was like, of all the ones I've served, you were the coolest.
One of my other favorite scenes is there's a big, huge thing of exposition. It's getting really epic, and there's all this fantastic organ music playing, and you see Anthony Hopkins go, Cogsworth, you're
up there-
ruining the moment!
He's up there playing an
Playing
organ.
this huge pipe organ.
And then he goes back into some more exposition, and that's opera
opera
starts,
starts.
and it cuts over, and Cogsworth is dancing and singing. I thought that was pretty funny.
Cogsworth.
Although it was a long expositional moment too. That was definitely the draggiest point of the movie for me, particularly off the pacing we had come from. Because the pacing in this movie, we talked about it, no spoilers, is insane. Particularly
Yes.
the beginning. It is so fucking fast paced. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep up with initially, I thought. Because they don't give you a time to ease into the movie at all. Like it just starts and just ba 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 ba. But it's still pretty cool.
Like the watch that killed Hitler.
Yeah, the watch that killed Hitler. That was pretty cool too. There's probably a lot of fun little details if you can go back and look, like all the paintings with the Transformers through history.
Yeah.
Oh, Bumblebee and the Nazis.
Oh God, yes. So
And-
I went so fast I didn't catch it. Was he actually a Volkswagen?
It looked like he was a Volkswagen Bug. I mean, he wasn't yellow. He was like armored, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, that's pretty freaking cool.
Because as soon as because Anthony Hopkins is telling Marky Mark,
Mark Wahlberg.
thank you. I'm sorry, Mark Wahlberg.
No, it's fine. He's not watching.
but,
he is. Hi, Mark.
But no, he's telling about how no, Bumblebee's a badass motherfucker. He's going like, they called him a lot of things back in World War II. Nice was not one of them.
Right. Yeah. So that was really cool. That was an awesome
And they do
moment.
this quick little flashback, and it's they're rolling up to this Nazi HQ of some sort, and he's a Volkswagen Beetle, and he comes out and he's just kicking ass and taking names, and he's like,
it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There was a Mark Wahlberg line. I can't remember what the context of it was about. Punched someone in the face though. There was a funny moment. Probably with one of the soldiers.
oh no, that was with the kids. When they were rescuing the kids from that zone.
Well, there was that
no-go
punch in the
zone.
face joke too, but I thought there was one where Mark's like, "Do you want to punch in the face right now?" Like he just totally threw the line away to somebody.
Well, that's the kids.
Was it?
The
Okay.
kid's like, do you know there's a huge bounty on you? You want to punch him in the face?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying the girl had said it because I
No,
for some
no,
reason
no,
remember
the
that. but-
kids. I said
yeah,
kids, plural.
You're right.
But speaking of the girl,
Well, I was gonna. Yeah, that's what it was a good segue into it. The kids, the little girl you've seen, like highly promoted in the marketing, has no purpose in this movie. Her bot has a minor purpose, but she kind of doesn't really have any purpose. Even when she shows up at the end when she's not supposed to and gets dragged into the war zone, she doesn't really have a purpose other than telling the bot to go do something.
yeah.
And like the kids you've seen in the beginning, like go in the field and all that stuff, that's about all there is to it. You've seen just about everything in the trailer.
Yeah, which,
Like she's gone through that movie for like an hour in the middle. She's gone.
Yeah, I know.
And then I was like, I had forgotten. By the time we come back to her, I was like, oh yeah, her and all these junkyard people, right?
I have a feeling that maybe they again tried to cram too much stuff because it looked like they had. We had 5 or 6 different groups who were following at one point.
Yeah, I really get the feeling with her,
and I think she's got a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
And it was an afterthought maybe, because it was. I think it might have been more like, oh man, this is a real like white dude sausage fest, adults. You know, it's like this
that's
movie
the
is
other
supposed to be for
possibility.
kids, so we should probably stick some kids in there. And let's, you know, and normally I'm okay with this, but it felt so forced. I will bring it up
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, we should make it a strong female character, even though had no purpose. So it like kind of backfires, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But and again, I'm sure they're setting her up for sequels or whatever. But
Yeah, and it was one of the. Yeah,
You've
because
seen
by the
almost
time the next
everything.
movie comes out, she'll be legal. No.
Well, see, you didn't see the last movie either, because there's a whole thing about underage.
I saw that in the Screen Junkies.
Yeah, because like the girl was
recap
like
thing.
17. That was a whole thing too, so
Yeah.
I could get a little icky. But yeah, totally underused character. I kind of liked the sidekick at the junkyard, but again, just
Again,
completely
yeah, I'm
underused.
not sure why he was there either.
Yeah, he was comic relief, but I think he's the weakest comic relief we've had in any of the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and again, I mean, I'm not trying to crap all over, because look, you know it's going to have
Mhm.
problems like this. It's that's what it is, but it's
Yeah.
still really fun.
mhm.
And I mean, it was gorgeous. The effects, I don't know if we said it in here or not, but the effects are just amazing.
The-
That whole thing with the ship coming out of the water,
Yeah.
and like Mark Wahlberg is in between Bumblebee and Optimus, and the ship's coming up and
Mhm.
water spraying everywhere and waves, and it looks totally real. It's,
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some killer CG, dude.
Although I was like, I wouldn't want to be Mark Wahlberg on that set because that had to be hell.
Well, what's that? You mean the green screen and with
Oh,
whaters?
What?
There
Any
was some
water,
water.
shooting?
There was some water tanks, but for the most part, that was all CG and stuntmen.
I don't know. I was just
Um,
sitting here like, oh, I do not want to shoot that.
Yeah, I was glad Josh Duhamel's back. Sadly, no Tyrese Gibson. I liked that
Oh,
part,
that's the
that
military
pairing.
guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
and like you could have easily put his character in there. You could have swapped him out for one of the other military guys, no problem, and then he could have had a funny line, and it would have been great.
Mm.
But I do like that crossover of those two universes, you know, kind of from the first trilogy and this trilogy, and even like the general or whatever he is that's above Duhamel. I like that guy a lot. Linux is the character name, by the way. Duhamel's
The
character.
old guy?
No, Linux is Duhamel. But the older guy, yeah, he was like in the original Transformers and stuff. He
Okay.
was his boss back then, so that's kind of cool. Loved Hopkins sneaking in. He's gonna go. He walks up to the front door of the Prime Minister's place, like
Yeah,
the
10
cops.
Downing.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, Prime Minister in?" And the cop's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go get him." And Hopkins like, "You're a dick. I'll just use the other entrance." So that was awesome. And then he like finds this like super ancient secret entrance, and he just walks in through the wall. And the Prime Minister just turns around like, "The fuck?"
God!
Yeah, but then of course he like does the thing. Oh, that's when
This
he.
is to watch it kill.
Yeah, it's like if I let this out, we all die. But then after he says a couple of things to the Prime Minister obviously is in the know
Yeah.
of this ancient story and stuff. It's like, oh fuck, the world's gonna end. So a lot of MacGuffins
You
in
have
the
to
movie
wonder
too.
how it must be to be an actual prime minister in England between like all the franchises like Harry Potter and
Oh god.
Doctor Who.
Yeah. That,
Are there aliens? No. Mages? No.
that was kind of interesting too, that they were doing the science versus magic stuff a little bit in there with like the NASA physicist. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna save this with physics, and theoretically he was mostly right, even though it didn't work out and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was a
Yeah.
nice little touch, something different to throw in.
Unfortunately, people fail to inform him that he's in a Michael Bay movie and physics don't work.
Right.
Uh,
But I do like that they mentioned the fact about, look, magic, you know, they brought up that thing that we've learned in all the shows. It's like highly advanced technology that is beyond your comprehension would appear to be magic to you. You know, so I do always like when that gets brought up.
yeah.
Hot Rod.
He is oddly enough French.
Yeah, and they even reference, like, I don't know, my voice is stuck this way. I'm like, Bumblebee's voice
like-
is stuck this way, which we'll get to, but
He's
Hot
like,
Rod.
I do not like this accent.
I know, and like they never made him really look like, I mean, he looked cool, but they never really made him look like Hot Rod. They didn't do shit with Hot Rod. Like there was no, you got the touch. They still didn't have Mark Wahlberg. Why couldn't they give Mark Wahlberg a line about, you got the touch? You like, he's got to amp somebody up to go into battle. You got the touch. You got the power. You know, like I just need that moment, damn it.
I could have said it to the woman.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would have been so perfect. But again,
Actually-
that's the thing. Bay, he cares about some of what the fans care about, but not everything about it. So, you know, he'll give some fan service, but not the fan service you actually want. It's weird.
Yeah. Which reminds me, when they're down and they open up the tomb and he grabs the staff. And it's like, I feel like, excuse me, let me see that.
Right, because it's coded to her DNA. So
Yeah.
I thought that was actually a nice little touch that it transformed to work for her. Megatron, he's been slapped by Quintessa too. I realized that
Apparently.
happened. He had the red streak, so that was kind of interesting. I like the montage of when he was dealing with the lawyers, negotiating for which of his Decepticons would get released to help him.
Oh god, that was hilarious.
And then there was like the one Berserker, I guess. And it's like,
Yeah.
no,
No.
pick somebody else.
No.
And Megatron's like,
No,
all
no,
right.
no, no, no.
That's like the one I'll agree with you on. I'll pick somebody else. So I thought that was kind of a neat thing to kind of get some fan favorites in there.
Giant Minotaur type.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And he was a combiner too. I don't
Yeah.
remember that character,
I don't
but
remember
it
that
was
character
cool in the
either,
movie.
but
And then Bumblebee's voice.
yeah.
So this is the other thing too, and then we'll wrap this up. But Optimus is like, you see him for like a second in the
Actually,
beginning.
wait. Before you get to that, they get him a new voice box earlier in the movie.
Well, I was gonna double back, but go ahead.
Okay. And was that Siri
It did sound like Siri.
or Alexa or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, and he's like, I hate this, and rips his voice box out and goes back to radio mode.
Yeah. What the f-
Yeah, but what I was actually going to say is
Yeah.
Optimus, you see him floating in space in the beginning and talk
Yeah.
to Quintessa or whatever, then he's gone for like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It is so weird to
Well,
like,
it took a while for Cybertron to get to Earth.
I know, but still, it's weird to have a Transformers movie where Optimus is only in like the last 30, 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
That just felt odd. I mean, it made sense with the story they're telling, but
Yeah.
it felt odd. But then, yeah, Bumblebee. So Optimus is all evil. He's fighting Bumblebee, and it's intense, and it's this awesome fucking fight that you've seen a
Yeah.
lot of in the trailers. Optimus, basically, Bumblebee finally gets his voice, somehow just miraculously gets his voice back and says, Optimus, I'm your oldest friend. And then Optimus's eyes start changing. He's like, I've not heard your voice since we were on Cybertron. And I'm like, I mean, even as fun and dumb as the movie is, and as much as I expect, even that was kind of like, oh god, come on, really?
Yeah.
Like there should, I mean, even if you're gonna go with that, like draw it out, you know, like make Bumblebee give him like a whole speech or something, you know, and then get to some specific story that reminds him or something. But just the fact that just hearing his voice saying, "I'm your oldest friend, Optimus," it's just like, zoop, I'm good again. I mean, it was literally like
Yeah.
that short.
Yeah, it took all about 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah, that really felt off. But I mean, despite all the complaints, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Oh, the knights, the 12 knights that formed
Yeah.
into the giant dragon thing. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's kind of cool. I think underutilized, but
Although I have to wonder how much that was like Game of Thrones sort of inspired. It's like everybody loves dragons.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, I gotta admit, like Michael Bay sells these things. Like it's that kid mentality. If I was 8 and someone said, "Combiner Transformers, they're knights that combine into a 3-headed dragon," I'd be like, "Here's my money." You know? So-
No, yeah, as a kid you'd be, here's my parents' money.
Yeah, actually, I went through my head, but yeah. But again, I mean, obviously, you're gonna have a lot of problems with this movie. It's gonna have a lot of problems, but if you expectations, people, like it's hurt me in unboxing sometimes, my expectations, but know what kind of movie you're going in for to
Yeah.
some degree. I mean, but then again, there can be a case argued for more for art films. If you don't know what you're going into, it can be enjoyable. But summer blockbuster movies, directed by Michael Bay, part 5 of something, you should know what you're going into. So I don't know why everybody's tearing this thing to shred, even though I guess we kind of griped about a lot of things. But no, actually, I think we had more positive than negative,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like I just wasted 2-3 hours. of
No,
my
I'm really
life.
glad I saw it. I'm really glad I got to see it in like the good 3D on the big RPX
Yeah.
screen and everything, because it jumped, you know, aspect ratio for some of the IMAX stuff, which
Good.
I mean, it's not terribly distracting. I just happened to notice once or twice. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts. You got anything else?
I'm trying to think. I really want Cogsworth for myself.
I don't. I would be dead. But anyways, I guess that's it then, huh? All right, cool.
Or maybe the little baby things.
I could see that. I'm like, there's got to be
Maybe
toys.
we have to do something about the fire, though.
Yeah, there's got to be toys of those, like an actual life-size baby pet dinosaur thing. Or like those puppets you were messing with the other day. That would be awesome. But there you go, guys. That's what we think. Transformers of the Last Night. I enjoyed it. It's worth my money. So, cool. Well, I guess just comment away. Let us know what you think, what you liked, what you didn't, what you would have liked to have seen, what you think might be in the sequel, all that kind of stuff. Geek out with us in the comments. I got more time to actually answer comments these days, so I'm starting to get actually better about that. So do that, and maybe I can get back to you, whatever. I did that a little early, sorry, that was a different cue. But now we'll do it. Other than that, give us that thumb of encouragement. We do love to be encouraged. And I guess we're gonna get out of here, go watch some more stuff. We'll see you beautiful bastards. It's not my channel. We'll see you people later.